Yeah, thank you so much for joining us
You're
here.
welcome. Thanks for having me.
Of course. So tell me more about your stuff. How did you even come up with all those brilliant pieces that we just saw?
The swimwear. Well, MOrrison, as you know, is made of swimwear, purses, and accessories, fashion accessories. And basically, MOrrison started in 2008 back in college in New York when I was at a point in my life where I had to do something that I loved, to move on. I changed my major in school several times.
What did you take?
Eventually, I majored in corporate communications.
Okay,
So
but before that, what did you take?
In college?
Yes.
Marketing. I did accounting. I did all kinds of stuff.
But all those things are helpful for MOrrison,
Well, for
right?
business, yes,
Yeah.
because it was a business school I was in too, so it was good. So, well, that's when I decided to take it up full time and do MOrrison. Officially start MOrrison, 2008.
Yeah. Wow. So it was pretty much like in your room that you thought about this. When did you come up with the idea?
I've always been creative doing, DIYs since childhood. When I was younger, I used to make my own belts,
Okay.
not necessarily with African fabric, but, I like vintage stuff. So I'll go to the vintage store, get all kinds of, when I travel, that is. We don't have vintage stores in Ghana. So I'll do, get vintage items, put them together, make mostly accessories. I like belts, I like hair things, So I used to do all these things growing up, and I guess it's something I really like to do. It made me happy, and I got compliments when I wore them. So when I was at this point in my life, I felt like I have to do something I love to do, and develop it into a career that I'm gonna forever like and not get bored of. So I thought, this is the best time to take it up full time.
Tell me more about when you were in university doing, probably all sorts of different majors, thinking of possible jobs that you could do in the future. What was the point where you said, okay, I'm going to do this?
Okay.
Because when you look at African parents especially too, a lot of them disagree with us trying to follow up, especially when it's in the arts, fashion and so forth. So when did you decide, and how was that for you, that transition?
Well, like I was telling you earlier, I've been doing these little accessories from when I was younger. So even back in college, I was still making these things, and I had friends who would sometimes buy them or borrow them to use. My belts, my little purses, whatever, vintage. So from time to time, as I kept getting these comments, they kept saying, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? And I always brushed it off. So when I was at that point where I really had to make up my mind, because I was too close to graduation and I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted to do. That was when I thought to myself, you know what? Because I go home every day after school and be patching things up, putting things together, and it was a hobby. So, it was one day I woke up one night. I woke my sister up and I said, you know what? I think I'm going to take this up full time. So we started, the next day I went to the vintage store, got more things, and we started putting them together with the help of my sister. And then that's how it started initially. And then, of course, 2008, 2009 was just around the time that African fabric was so huge in the States, that is. So I started incorporating a few of the African prints, and that's how it all started.
Yeah. And since then, where has MOrrison grown to?
Oh, it's grown a lot. Like I'm telling you, I started with accessories, and now I have swimwear also. And we're still moving forward. I have exciting things for 2012.
Yeah. Well, let's take a look quickly at some of MOrrison's collection, and then we'll come right back to this interview.
As you can see, this is our exclusive high-waisted style from MOrrison. It's the only high-waisted style we have from the 2011 collection. As you can see here, the bust, the top style, we have some pleated detail to give the bust area a little shape. We have the strings here that could add some effect to it, where you could just tie it up in a bow. The back also has a little tie here for some more support, and it's a strap to give the waist just a little more shape. This also, again, we have full coverage. It's, well, not full, but it's enough coverage for the style. And then the back is also stretchy, so when you wear it, depending on how wide your torso is, it could fit any size. Again, we have the straps are adjustable here, so you could also adjust it. We have different style in the bra part. We could do it without the pleats also, and I mainly chose these colors because of the different. We have yellow, purple, black and white effect going on, and I felt it blended more with the yellow than the orange, nor with even black and white itself. One piece swimwear with grommets details. I just wanted to give it a little detail here. As you can see, it was just 4 on each side, just to throw a little stretchy colored, solid color fabric here to break the whole pattern thing going on here. It's one piece. As you can see, it has enough coverage on the back with some shape on the waist and some strength to give the bust some hold and support. Turn back around. And this detail here is just to give the whole swimwear some shape for the pattern effect, the African fabric print effect. This is our famous bestseller, the zebra print one-piece suit, which I decided to do because of the whole pattern thing going on these days. I know one of my favorite colors to blend is black and white stripes and a bold solid color. And so when it came to designing this piece, I thought one of the best things to do was blend the black and white favorite with the African fabric. And the first few examples I made were really great. So I blended these colors with the black and white mainly because of the effect it gives. I have it also in a one piece just to give the whole full figure shaped, colorful blend.
I've known Aya for about 10 years now, and we're going strong. She's a very good friend. She is very energetic. She is business minded. I love her to bits. She is she's innovative actually. She's very creative with her hands. And I was actually quite surprised because in school she actually did something else and I was doing the creative bit. I was a graphic design student and she was probably an A1 student. And she was doing French and all the geography and stuff. But after school, she was like, oh, I want to get into craft more. And I was like, really? Because I'm branching into business, so I don't see why you should be doing all the craft. And she showed me some of her stuff and I think was really cool. So yeah, as a friend, you have to motivate each other. So yeah, I was like, okay, go for it. It's fine. And yeah, she made headway. I'm very, to be very honest, I'm really proud of her.
Wow, amazing stuff that we just saw. Like, how great is it that, I mean, first you started in university and now you have some stuff also available in stores in Ghana. Where can people locate these things?
They're at the Whiteley's in the Mall Accra Mall. I believe it's next to the new Casa store, the Villaggio store.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Whiteley's Pride of Africa. And also at Nontera in Asylum Down.
Okay.
And at the shop at African Regent Hotel.
Okay.
The store in
so different stores and
three
stuff.
Different stores in Accra.
Yeah. Now let's talk more about packaging your stuff and really getting people to buy your things here in Ghana and also outside. How do you go about that? How do you market yourself?
Well, I did a bit of marketing in college, as I said. So I incorporate all of that. Basically, packaging is a very big deal, especially with swimwear and pieces, and if it's African fabric. And in New York, presentation matters. If you have them in the stores, you have to have, either a drawstring bag to put it in. You have to have.
Let's see some of that.
Yeah, I have this drawstring bag that I put the swimwear in. Some of the purses go into these also, and then I have the paper bags. I have these little all kinds of stuff that and the quality of the products also count, of course, because my price point, with the price point I have
which is what, please? What is your price point?
Well, trust me, in New York I have the various clientele who enjoy different price points, but the general price point for MOrrison start as between $80 and up.
Okay.
That's for both purses and swimwear.
Okay.
I have discounts. I run sales all the time. That's a marketing strategy.
Well, are you afraid people are gonna think it's too high?
No,
I have discounts.
Well, yeah, people think it is. And being in Ghana now, with the ones in the stores, people are asking for discounts all the time. All the time.
Now, is making swimwear different from making normal clothes?
I believe it is. I don't make clothes yet, so I really can't tell, but it is. Sewing the stretch, the spandex, is harder than sewing regular clothes. You have to get, because if you overstretch it, then it looks, so it's really different as far as I know. And how to blend the fabrics, the stretch with the African fabric, it makes it all you have to be very detailed and very cautious when you're making it. So it's part of what makes it quality, and that's why the price point has to be a certain level.
Now, in comparing the Ghana market with the US market, what is your comparison
of the markets
here in Ghana and compared to the US? Is it the same? Are people coming for the stuff the same way?
It's not the same. In New York, in the States in general, what I've realized is people cherish their vacation days, and most of the times are itching to go out to a hotter country to enjoy it, and they would definitely not go without a swimwear. So the market there is much, much better, especially when it's getting close to summer. I get more people. I'd say my profits or my clients increase by at least 30% whenever it's getting to summer.
Wow.
From my observation. Yeah, in Ghana it's always hot. People are already used to wearing whatever to the beach, so it's only a few people who appreciate fashion, who want to be fashionable at the beach or at the pool, who would actually buy these things. So the market here is different. At the same time, advertising, I don't do much advertising in Ghana yet, but advertising to the few clients I have, showing them to go to the stores. I've done a few exhibitions here and there. They actually do go to the stores from what they tell me, and some of them would call me because I give them my card with my number, so I know they do, but it's not, the percentages are not the same as in New York, in the States.
Now, what are sort of some of the challenges you face in building this MOrrison brand?
General challenges. Well, I would group them in two. The challenges I face in Ghana presently is people's lack of knowledge of swimwear. I'm focusing more on the swimwear now because it's.
How do you mean people's lack of knowledge of the swimwear?
People who haven't seen the actual pieces can't comprehend how it works. They're like, how can you make African fabric swimwear? So either they're just not interested, or they're like, it's not gonna be comfortable, and just throw out the idea, or they are interested and they see it and they're just like amazed and it's too expensive. Oh, African fabric, I can buy it. I can go to Makola and buy it. So even the ones who actually are interested in knowing how it works are half the time just thinking.
So it's more about the appreciation of
your
artistic combination that you've done over there.
Exactly, of the fabrics. Yeah, and in New York, the challenge I face mostly is now we have Marc Jacobs doing African fabric, all these other bigger designers using African fabric. So when you approach a store, for example, to stock your pieces, it's a higher standard that these designers have set. So it's not easy. It's harder to get into the stores with the kind of niche that I am in. That's one of the biggest challenges I have.
So you actually take your stuff to the stores
I
for
do.
them to sell
To
it
sell them, of course, yeah.
for you. Okay. But still with the I Am Morrison brand, or they
Of
change it
course.
and call it something else?
Some stores do consignment. Some would just buy out and sell in the stores for you. And I see now all those, for example, doing shoes with African fabrics and whatnot. It's the stores love to sell these things, and especially as it's getting big, the African fabric, that is, they like to see these things, but it's hard to break that market because either they would have other designers who could give it to them and it would sell faster because it's a Marc Jacob, whatever, you know what I'm saying?
So as a smaller, brand that's trying to grow, it's difficult
harder.
competing
You have to go
with them.
yes, it's very difficult competing. You have to go through, you have to know somebody, if I should say that. Yeah, you have to either know the store owner or a manager or a buyer there who would, work it, so that's one of the biggest challenges, because it's in New York. It's very easy to make big money if it's already in the if it gets in the stores.
All right, well, unfortunately that's all we have time for. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. All right, you've heard it from Aya Morrison with her challenges with building the Aya Morrison brand. Let's take a break. We'll be back in a moment.